With so much football happening around the world, I understand if it can be overwhelming to keep up with, and that's why we, the Give and Go, recommend the OneFootball app.
Yeah.
Go ahead and download it, man. There's so much happening right now with friendlies, Nations League, little tournaments like the Finalissima.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much happening that I use that app to keep up with everything I do and to just keep me up to date with transfers, news, players getting injured. Like, hey, for the Give and Go to function, we need a utility like that. We need a tool like that, and OneFootball is that app for us.
Yeah, no, download the app because it's actually a really great app, man. They'll give you a lot of notifications, but what I really like about OneFootball is that the notifications are just quick facts.
Yeah,
they're very, very quick articles, so you just get a lot of information without having to like read these really dense articles.
The big take for the Give and Go has been our views, and more specifically your views, when it comes to the controversial, the polarizing Argentina national squad that is
controversial.
Controversial, as they are on a 30-plus game unbeaten streak at this point. I've lost complete count.
Yeah.
Qualified second in Conmebol, breezed through qualifiers. Now find themselves in a matchup with the European champions, facing off against the South American Copa America champions in the Wembley Stadium. The Finalissima happened a few weeks ago. But, you know, I know that happened a while back, but I think it still maintains relevancy because of what it meant for Argentina to get that result and for us to see them face off against, yes, a team that is no longer in World Cup contention, but I would still say is a solid test. Is a solid quality test.
Yeah.
Argentina went out there in foreign soil. They invaded the Wembley.
Yeah.
They showed up in style. Messi feeding balls, getting past players, drawing fouls. Jorginho and that Italian offense looking lost, like headless chickens out on the field. Dybala slinging passes, getting a nice touch and feeding Di Maria, getting him a beautiful chip over the overrated Donnarumma. Scoring goals left to right. Rodrigo de Paul, Atletico's very own, coming through outside the box, tap, corner shot, post, in, celebrations. Just scene after scene after scene of Italians chasing after Argentinians. Messi winning man of the match. This ultimately culminated in something very, very, very interesting for me, because I saw this match, and me being a man who had selected Brazil 2 months ago to be the World Cup winners, I now see my perspective slightly shift. I'm now starting to kind of fall in love with the breeze of Buenos Aires. With that light blue, sky blue jersey that they wear. All I'm gonna say is, man, this game gave me so much more than I expected, and I am even higher on Argentina than I was before, and I'm in. I'm sold.
You're strapped in.
I am sold.
You're going to the moon with Argentina.
I'm going to the goddamn moon, man. They made a mess out of Italy, bro. Italy did not look good at all.
No, they look bad. They
look
really, really bad.
I propose this to you. I bring this to you in attempts to form a partnership here.
Okay.
Are you with me? Are you with me when it comes to Argentina?
Oh my God, the Finalissima, huh? Yeah. I'll say this. I'm not against you.
You're my friend, not my enemy.
I'm not your enemy. I'm not against you. Now, look. First off, this truly felt like a World Cup game because it was two teams from completely two different continents and on neutral soil for both of them. Italian national team, Argentine national team in England. And the atmosphere was insane, man. It was beautiful, sold out stadium. You have 50% Argentines, maybe even more, 50% Italian, and then you had some just star-studded like celebrities just up in the crowd too, man.
It low-key looked a little dystopian. Like that setup, I was like, are they about to like fucking play Tron or something?
Yeah.
It looked cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like it truly was. It felt like a big game, and that was just maybe a slight concern because people knew, Italy's not going to be in the World Cup. It's not going to be a good game. But no. That game was so big. It had that air of like this is a big game. And just setting up for it, I got goosebumps because I knew this was just going to be an insane game. Didn't know what was going to happen. Had no idea what was going to happen, but my God, did it deliver, because I'll say this. This is the most confident Argentina team I've ever seen. I have ever seen.
Bruh.
And you can
almost
say
asshole-ish, douchebaggish. Like,
they know how good they are. It's completely backed up by the way that they play.
it feels to me like it's the first time I see Messi and his goons. Like, you just watch the field and like Messi's running around, but then he's got these people that will die for him on the field. Yeah. Finally, like they were born and bred to play alongside Lionel Messi, and I love to see that, man.
And that's such a big point, but it's a point that people have been making, I'd say, the past like years, that Messi finally has a better national team situation than he does in a club situation. Whoa. For Messi's entire career, Barcelona has always just given him more.
Good point.
He's always had a better situation with Barcelona. Like, he's had better players. He's been happier at Barcelona. And when he goes to the national team, he feels that stress. He's like, damn, like, I don't have the same personnel alongside me, and the fans are just hounding my ass. But now it's the opposite. PSG's been weird for Messi, man. PSG's been weird for Messi. And even prior to that, he was with a dying Barca team. Team. But now he gets to leave that weird club situation, and he just gets to celebrate. That's what it is. When Messi's with Argentina on the pitch, he is celebrating the sport of football because he's like, oh, I got Di Maria on my right. He's just giving, and then, I got Dybala coming off the bench, man. Yeah. And then behind him, he's got Rodrigo de Paul,
Warriors,
Lo Celso behind him. And then up top, you have Lautaro Martinez, he's a killer up there. Yeah. His movement's insane, and he's a good finisher. Finally, someone that can maybe pair up with Messi to actually finish those assists, man. Yes. So he's looking around, and he's like, okay. He's like, okay, I got a good team. But not only that, it's that manner in which these players are playing, because it's like Italy's a good team. They know they're a good team. The difference is that Argentina, they know they're better. That's the difference. They're both good teams, but Argentina has this feeling of, oh, you're good, but we're better, and we're gonna show you. Yeah. All of that being said, and just one more time, they thrashed Italy. Yeah. Thrashed them. It wasn't even a competition, essentially. For the first 20 minutes, it actually kind of was. But after 20 minutes, it was clear that Italy just wouldn't be able to keep up. All that being said, there's one last test that I need Argentina to go through before I fully commit to actually believing that this team can win a World Cup, not just do well. Because Argentina is always going to make it out of the group stage. They're just always going to do that. It would be a dark day that Argentina doesn't make it out of the group stage. It would be a dark day. Yeah. But for me, it's not about Argentina getting to the round of 16 or even quarters. For me, it's about them winning it. For me to truly believe that they can win it, I need them to go through one more trial, one more run, one more test. And that is to face a team that is offensively threatening. You look at this Italian team, sure, at the back. Chiellini's last game, by the way, what a defender. But alongside him, you've had Chiellini, you've had Bonucci, you've had these type of players that are really good. Spinazzola,
Emerson.
Yeah, Emerson. And then you've always had Buffon. Now you have Donnarumma. You've had an incredible Italian defense. And then in the midfield, Verratti unfortunately didn't play in this game. That could have been interesting to see. But still, you have a player like Jorginho, who is very, very good as a defensive type of general in that midfield. But for me, what Italy just don't have is a front three. They just don't. Since Chiesa did not play, Bernardeschi is your next best threatening option if you're Italian, and that is not good. As disrespectful as that sounds, it's just not good. Bernardeschi is never going to be that type of player that you can count on to score or to assist. And, Insigne on the bench, he's going to the MLS. Insigne is reaching that latter stage of his career. Mm-hmm. Italy don't have good options going forward. That's going to be a big point of contention for Mancini to figure out over these next 2 years for Euros, 4 years ultimately for the World Cup. Italy need better options going forward other than Chiesa. Chiesa is your only shining light. And so for all of those reasons, I don't think Argentina's backline even remotely got tested.
It's not so much about them getting tested in one game. Look at the players specifically. I said I wanted to highlight Tottenham center backs. my second center back is Cristian
Romero.
I have grown to be such a big fan of Cristian Romero, the conquistador, the warrior in that back line. My goodness, how he fights for those balls. It's the first time that I've seen an Argentinian center back that I'm actually like fully reliable on.
Yeah.
Otamendi has always been prone to a mistake here or there. You had guys like Marcos
Rojo,
who also was just kind of the same thing as Otamendi.
That's what I'm saying.
Cristian Romero is the first one that I'm like, that's what they've always needed. Not at that Virgil van Dijk level, not at that Sergio Ramos level, but still at a tier just right there, you could say in the Ben Davies category, that I think will be just good enough to continue improving from.
Yeah.
Because I just see him getting better too. He's youngin'.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like 24, 25 years old.
Yeah.
Tagliafico, who's always been a really reliable left back. Juan Foyth, who went all the way to the semifinals of the Champions League.
You have that as an
pocketed
option.
Luis Diaz for the most part of that game.
Yeah.
And then Cristian Romero, and then yes, you do have Otamendi, but you finally just have a surrounding cast in that back line with a much better goalkeeping improvement in Emi Martinez over what was Franco Armani. And so I think outside of one position in the back line, we've had improvements and upgrades.
Yeah.
And not just that, it's players that have proven at the club level almost as much as they could have proven already. I still think that there's plenty reason to assume that they'll be good to go come World Cup time.
Yeah.
They still showed that they're formidable at the very least.
They're formidable at the very least. And I actually will completely agree with that. You're right. In most positions, they actually have greatly improved. Greatly improved, not just talent-wise, because that's not. I don't think that's what this is. This is more of just like durability, consistency in those type of positions where you need a player to make the right, smart decision, not be technically sound.
Yeah.
And you finally have that in those players that you just highlighted. But the player that you also just kind of de-highlighted, Otamendi, I do think the fact that he's still the starting center back alongside Romero, I think that is going to bite them when they play teams who are offensively threatening. Mm-hmm. And that's why I need to see this. I need to see, can Romero look back his shoulder, see Otamendi, trust him? Yeah. Can he be like, okay, Otamendi's going to cover this space. I can look behind me and get the guy that's making a run. Can Romero actually have that faith in alongside his partner? The only way for that to actually be tested is what I'm saying. I need them to play a team that is completely confident going forward against any type of defense. They haven't really done that yet. Maybe we see it when they play Brazil in September.
That's the next one.
That's the next one. But again, I always question the idea of playing teams within your own region. Not as a bad thing, but I need to see Argentina play against a team that they're just not familiar with their style.
Right. But here's the thing. So you're using that to argue that for that reason you can't really instill faith in them winning the World Cup yet.
For that reason.
But your pick for the World Cup was England, who employs Harry Maguire at the back.
Maguire's a different beast than the national team, and everyone knows that.
Come on.
Everyone knows that.
I think at most he turns into like a good version of Otamendi.
I think that
at most.
I disagree.
At most.
No. Whoa.
At most.
Bro, the last year's Maguire was easily one of the best defenders in the tournament.
He was great.
And so I would say Otamendi cannot reach that height. Otamendi's best international performance cannot reach the height that Maguire reached when he was with the Euros.
Here's the thing. Maguire's accompanied by John Stones. John Stones would be Cristian Romero in this example. I think that if you have a better center back with you, there's a genuine chance. Sure, he's been great, but I do think that John Stones is a better center back than him.
Absolutely.
I think that he's guiding that back line first.
But I think, I see your point, but I still think, let's say Romero and Otamendi, I think Otamendi makes more individual mistakes that bites Romero more than Maguire would for Stones. So Maguire makes less individual mistakes with the English national team than Otamendi would. So in turn, Otamendi's peak is much lower than Maguire's peak. So for that reason, I can actually trust Maguire in a defense with Stones. I don't know if I can trust Otamendi in a back line, even though Romero is just as good as, let's say, John Stones.
Yeah, but to be fair, Maguire was incredible in that Euros. Incredible.
He was.
But that was before this tumultuous season that he just had.
Absolutely.
And as we know, I think a lot of this comes down to form as well. If he's still playing at that level, at club level.
Absolutely.
I think it wouldn't be fair to just assume that international Maguire is just going to show up if he's playing that way the first couple of months in the Premier League. That'll be interesting to see.
That will be interesting to see.
But I'm just trying to point out how those are your center backs for your pick. Are you still with England as your pick?
I think I'll reveal my new selections right before the World Cup because I think a lot's gonna change in 5 months. Man.
I don't know if I'm fully there with Brazil now. If I'm being honest.
Okay, interesting.
Argentina is winning me over, man. Winning me over. Outside of Otamendi, that's gonna be an interesting play. Is the whole Otamendi? Does Lisandro Martinez come in for him instead? Does Marco Senesi come in instead? Outside of that, man, upgrades at goalkeeper with Emi Martinez starting. Left back, you have Tagliafico starting. But you also have a veteran option in Marcos Acuna if you need it.
Yeah.
Solid. Whereas there was once a time where Marcos Acuna was starting very constantly for this Argentine squad.
Yeah.
Right back, Juan Foyth, Nahuel Molina, Gonzalo Montiel. Midfield, Rodrigo de Paul, which I feel is one of the better midfields that Argentina has had in a good while.
Yeah.
Lo Celso, who's very solid. Guido Rodriguez, who's a great defensive man.
No, he's good for this team. He's good. He's good.
Leandro Paredes, who plays for PSG, hasn't really hit that stride that I thought he could, but he's still a solid option.
Yeah,
and then up front, it's where it's the most stacked.
Oh my God.
You have Lionel Messi, the potential GOAT of the game. Di Maria, who is on form like no other right now.
So good in that game.
Lautaro Martinez, who is a different prototype of player that Argentina hasn't had yet.
Yeah.
And I think it's just gonna provide so much more than, yes, Higuain, who's incredible at the time. I just think when it comes to the international team, a guy like Lautaro Martinez is gonna find ways to have a better impact with players like Lionel Messi right beside him.
Yeah.
Dybala, hopefully he can finally start finding that form within the national squad that we've always dreamed of him having. And then young studs with Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
Being there. The ability to just come off the bench and potentially surprise.
Yeah,
Joaquin Correa, Nicolas Gonzalez. Like, the options are actually...
Papu Gomez. Getting some good minutes in that midfield if he needs to.
It's really, really interesting, man. It's got my eye peaked. I got that Ancelotti emoji look. Like, looking at Interesting. Argentina just continues to impress for me. They seem to, at the very least, impressed you. Improved your thoughts upon what you once thought, but you're still not fully there.
Still not fully there, but to end this, let's separate Argentina from this equation because I want to talk about one man, that is Lionel Messi. Dude, what a performance. At his age, he looked dangerous.
Yeah.
So dangerous. If you get that at the World Cup, man, again, I'm not saying I'm fully convinced, but anything can happen when Lionel Messi is on the pitch. And it's just no surprise. I'm not surprised by it. I am just simply in awe of it. Still that Messi, year in and year out, can just make my jaw drop. Did you see that turn?
Yeah.
That turn. I don't know of any other player that can do that. Honestly.
Right now,
that can turn with the control, the strength, and the pace that Messi can do, and then still to look up, find that pass.
The perfect pass.
I don't know if there's a player that can do that yet, and Messi's in his 30s.
Almost mid-30s now.
Yeah, man.
And, that's the thing. That's the scary element of this team that, because of the point you made of him having a better international team than club team.
Yeah.
You do have a feeling that he's going to show up more for the international side, bro.
He's excited to play.
He's excited, dude.
Yeah.
He's happy. He's electric now when he's on the field. Yes, he had his moments with PSG, but I just didn't see that energy, man.
Nah.
And I'll say this about Messi. There's times where you can tell he's selective about the energy he puts into a match.
You can.
Obviously, he's God-tier level talent, so he can still have an impact on a game regardless.
Yeah.
But there's moments that I've noticed that, okay, you watch him play against a League One team, like the 14th game of the season, and he's not fully giving it everything. But then you see him put on that Argentina jersey, and the dude's a fucking menace on that pitch, causing trouble just everywhere he goes. And it's elements like that I'm just like, bro, if this does culminate in what it's kind of shaping up to be, there is that possibility for something special to happen, man. The way this is going, storybook wise, I'm just seeing it. Argentina's gonna lift that trophy, bro.
This is the team. Lifts that trophy, bro.
This is the team. Like, if it ain't this team, then I don't know what it is, bro.